Are our spirit children connected to the mother or both parents? What should we be doing as a couple to prepare and communicate with our babies? Your spirit baby can be connected to either you, the mother, can be connected to the father, can be connected to both parents, or to neither. So it's every kind of permutation you can think of. So they could have one or they could have had one or more lifetimes with one of you, or the both of you in the same lifetime. You could have known your spirit baby because you were relatives in the past life. Could have been siblings. You could have been, mother and child, father and child. You could have been spouses, friends, mentor-mentee relationship, really any combination under sun. It's just, so it can be anything. There's no way for you to know. The possibilities are endless. Or they could have had no connection to you at all. When you put out the call to become a mother by setting out that strong intention, those babies were at a frequency that matched with you, and so they came to you, even though they didn't have a previous connection to you. So that would be why they came to you. Your role as a mother and as a couple is to give your spirit babies a sense of safety and love beyond anything else. It's the same as if you had a real baby in your arms. We know that babies can sense when we're stressed, and that's because they're picking up on your energetic frequency. Spirit babies are even more attuned to your frequency because they're pure energy at this point. They're in spirit, right? They don't have a physical body to dampen their spiritual senses. So in order for your baby to want to come in, they need to feel secure, they need to feel wanted, they need to feel loved, they need to feel safe. You have to create that peace within yourself individually and as a couple. So releasing the doubt and the fears is the first step, because that's the biggest hurdle for many women in their 40s. It's not going to matter if you communicate with your spirits all day, every day, if you still have fear and doubt that's dominating your energy field. Usually the doubt is more prevalent in the woman, so she generally has to more actively release that by not focusing on those doubts, on the fears. You want to stop adding fuel to the fire by giving it so much attention. The more attention that you give your doubts, the more it's going to amplify, right? And so you want to shift your awareness to the things that are going right and really be able to develop the superpower of ignoring the circumstances and carrying on as if the baby is a done deal and the baby's going to come. Nothing's going to come out of you noticing what's missing, because all that's going to do is it's going to deepen your sense of lack. It's like, and we've all been in the situation where we've had a girlfriend or more, and she keeps complaining about how she's single, how she can't find any good men, how tough dating is, just on, just complaints about it. It's a vicious cycle. You can feel that needy, desperate energy that's rooted in fear, because it's very fear-based. So she's going to be better off served by talking more about what she likes about each date and how she appreciated the opportunities to meet different men, right? Same situation, completely different perspectives and approaches. They're going to result in different outcomes. And so it's going to be the same with you. In general, the male partner doesn't have the same amount of doubts that women do. They're usually not thinking about it, whereas for women, women are thinking about it all the time, most of the day, maybe second to second. I mean, if you doubt me on this, ask your partner. I'm willing to bet that he's thinking about it very, very little compared to you. And so, which is a really good thing, because you really want him to be your emotional support. However, if your male partner is expressing a lot of doubt, you just want to gently tell him to box up the doubt and then just shelve it. Give him the job of emotionally supporting you, whatever that means to you, and you have to communicate that clearly to him. When men are given jobs, they really shine because now they know that they have something to do for you. They want to be your hero on this journey. So tell them how to do that. For this motherhood journey, there's I mean, typically not as much, very little that they can do to contribute. So if you give them something to do and be very clear about it, for the most part, they're going to rise up to the challenge, right? So be clear. Don't expect him to be a mind reader. Communicate what it is that you need. And most of all, don't get mad at him if he's not perfect, because what ends up happening is that women often expect their male partners to be a male version of themselves. And it's just not realistic to expect of another person, and much less of your partner. So I wouldn't pressure your partner to connect with the spirit baby unless he really wants to. It's really not necessary for him to connect with your spirit baby. And to be clear, it's not necessary for you to connect with your spirit baby either. I mean, when you think about it, how many people actually know about spirit babies and connect with them on their motherhood journey? There's really not very many. It's a great bonus to know that they're there before conception. And, there are definitely advantages to that. But for most women, it isn't actually how they're going to get pregnant. It's a gift to have that connection, but it's not necessary for conception. And I want to make that clear to those of you who choose not to do so or have more difficulty connecting, okay? Instead, the bulk of your work is releasing any resistance at all. When you do communicate with your spirit baby, you want to focus more on cultivating the relationship, just that interaction between the two of you so that they feel comfortable with you. For many of you, the babies may seem, when they're coming to you and communicating to you, they may seem very shy, reserved, or more reticent. That's because there isn't that level of connection yet. And so it's just about being there with them, just, being them there at the level that they're at, get to know them, spend time with them. And, but it really shouldn't be a big part of your practice for conception purposes. For connection purposes, it is, but for conception purposes, most of your time really should be focusing on getting yourself into high frequency and staying there, because when you're at a high vibe, you'll then be a match for your baby, and then they're going to just flow in as a natural a result of you being in a high energy state. As a couple, you should be spending plenty of time nurturing your relationships and continually feeding your love with attention to each other's needs. Maintaining that loving relationship where the energy flows harmoniously between the two of you, it's really what a spirit baby ultimately wants. They want to know that there's love in the relationship going into the family. And so whatever you can do to help nurture that and to grow that love that you have between you and your partner, regardless of connecting with the spirit baby, is only going to help you on your conception journey, because that's really what's going to create that magic and help to ignite that spark for conception. All right. So I received a follow-up question in addition to this, and the question is, if I am the positive one and my husband is by nature less positive, is it better to avoid discussing often and focus on my positive energy towards him and the baby? Absolutely. So you don't want to focus on anything that is less than. You don't want to focus on anything that could be better, right? So, because then you're focusing on what's wrong rather than just putting your attention towards the things that are going well already. So in terms of, your attention towards him, how much you love him, how much he contributes to the relationship, the common qualities that you share and the values, all of that good stuff, you want to focus on that, right? And the same with the baby as well. If, he's not as positive about the baby journey, just ignore that, ignore those circumstances, because it's not going to help you to focus on that. It's just going to irritate you and frustrate you. So you do what you can to, optimize what you can control and what you can improve actively. And then the rest that you can't, you just ignore completely. And that's that is going back to the superpower that I was talking about of you developing the ability to ignore circumstances that don't serve you and hyper focusing on the circumstances that do benefit you, that if you put the time into, it's going to give you greater benefits. And that's really how you should manage your time and your energy. All right. That was a great question. So if you found this video helpful, like and subscribe to get notified of new videos on this channel. I'm Julie Chang, and I'm here to help women in their 40s manifest their baby. I hold live masterclasses where I answer questions from women on the motherhood journey and post clips here on YouTube. I also help women in my group programs and with private coaching. Click the link in the description below to join my email list to stay updated on my offerings. Thank you so much for being here.